Ever wondered what if a single drop of ocean water could tell you every single place it had ever been? Here's the wild truth: that one drop has traveled more than you ever will. Imagine you scoop up one drop at the beach and it sits in your palm totally silent. But if that drop could talk, it would have the craziest travel story on the entire planet. Because water never really leaves Earth, it just moves, freezes, rises, falls, and gets used again. So this drop isn't new, it's ancient, older than you can even picture. Let's give it a name, call it Dot. And Dot is going to whisper its memories to us, one stop at a time. So grab a seat, because this is a very long trip. First, Dot rewinds way back, like billions of years back, because most of Earth's water is roughly 4 billion years old. That's older than the moon looking the way it does now. Some of that water may have even arrived on comets and icy space rocks that smashed into baby Earth. So part of Dot might literally be from outer space. Wild, right? Okay, fast forward, Dot has been swishing around oceans for ages, and here's the first shocker. The ocean isn't one still pool, it's a giant moving machine always on the go. Scientists call it the global conveyor belt, a massive loop of currents that carries water all the way around the whole planet. And one full loop takes about 1,000 years. 1,000 years for one lap. So Dot has done this loop over and over, which means Dot has floated past every ocean, every continent, and every coastline on Earth, every single one. Let's start Dot's memory in the freezing North Atlantic, where the water is cold and salty and heavy, so heavy that it sinks like a stone into the deep dark. Down Dot goes, sinking miles below the surface into total blackness, with no sunlight, no sound, just crushing pressure and cold. And here's the crazy part: Dot might stay down there for centuries. Yeah, water can hide in the deep ocean for hundreds, even 1,000 years, slowly crawling along the seafloor. Whole empires rise and fall while Dot just drifts in the dark. While it's down there, Dot brushes past creatures we barely understand, like glowing jellyfish, giant squid, and anglerfish with little flashlights on their heads, a whole hidden alien world under the waves. Dot even drifts near deep-sea volcanic vents, where super hot water blasts out of cracks in the ocean floor. It's hundreds of degrees hot down there right next to freezing water. Insane. Slowly, the deep current carries Dot south all the way toward Antarctica. Around the bottom of the world it goes, past icebergs and penguins, still deep, still dark, still traveling. Then up toward the Indian Ocean and the Pacific, the biggest ocean of all. The Pacific is so huge, you could fit every single continent inside it, with room to spare. Finally, near the warm tropics, Dot rises back toward the sunlight. After maybe 1,000 years in the dark, it feels warm rays again. If drops could cry happy tears, Dot would. But the journey's not over, not even close. The warm sun heats the surface, and Dot gets so warm it does something magical. It turns into invisible vapor and floats up into the sky. This is evaporation. Dot leaves all its salt behind in the ocean and rises up as pure water vapor. That's right. The salt stays and the water flies. A neat little trick. Up, 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 Dot climbs into the cold sky, and way up high, it cools down and joins millions of other drops clumping together to form a big fluffy cloud. Now Dot is a passenger on a cloud, and clouds are travelers too. The wind grabs the cloud and carries Dot for hundreds, even thousands of miles across the sky. The cloud floats over ships and islands, over sandy beaches and busy cities. From way up here, Dot can see the whole coastline, with tiny people like ants and waves like little wrinkles. Then the cloud drifts over land and bumps into a mountain. The air gets cold, the cloud gets heavy, and suddenly Dot is too big to float. Time to fall. Dot plummets from the sky as a raindrop. Whoosh! Down it races toward the mountaintop, but it's so cold up here that halfway down, Dot freezes solid into a snowflake. Dot lands softly on a snowy mountain peak and gets buried under more and more snow, layer after layer piling on top, and here comes another long, long wait. The snow squishes down into hard ice and becomes part of a glacier, and glaciers move slower than anything. Dot could stay frozen in that ice for hundreds or even thousands of years. Think about that. Some ice on Earth today froze before humans built cities. Dot might have watched frozen and silent, while the whole history of civilization happened far below. Finally, the sun warms the glacier's edge, and Dot melts free. It trickles out as a tiny stream, joins other drops, and starts rushing downhill. Free at last, and moving fast. The stream becomes a river, and the river is like a highway. Dot zooms past forests full of deer, over waterfalls, and around big rocks. This is the fun part of the trip. Along the way, a thirsty deer leans down and takes a drink, and gulp, Dot gets swallowed. Now Dot is traveling inside a living animal, and the journey just got personal. Here's a mind bender. Water moves through animals all the time. Dot could have been inside a fish, a bird, a whale, even way back inside a dinosaur. Same water for real. The deer wanders off, and soon Dot leaves the animal and soaks back into the soil. Now it's underground water, seeping slowly through dirt and rock in the cool, quiet dark. Deep underground water can hide in hidden reservoirs called aquifers for thousands of years. Some underground water hasn't seen the sky since long before the pyramids were even built. Spooky and cool. Eventually, the underground water bubbles up into a spring, then flows into a giant river like the Amazon or the Nile, rivers that ancient people built whole worlds around. So if Dot could remember, it might recall floating past ancient Egyptians filling their jugs, past Roman ships, and past explorers crossing unknown seas. Dot has quietly witnessed all of human history. The big river pours Dot back into the ocean, and the whole cycle starts again. Sink, drift, rise, cloud, rain, freeze, melt, and flow over and over and over for billions of years. Let's really soak in how many trips that is. If one ocean loop takes 1,000 years, then in a million years did that loop 1,000 times? And Earth is way older. Earth is about 4.5 billion years old, so Dot has looped around the planet not thousands, not millions, but a truly uncountable number of times. Your brain can't even picture it. And in all those trips, think of everything Dot touched. Every storm, every rainbow, every splash in every puddle, and every wave that ever crashed on every beach that ever existed. Dot has probably been in a thunderstorm that scared a whole village, been the mist in a morning fog, been the frost on a leaf, and been the single tear rolling down someone's cheek. Here's where it gets emotional. Because water gets recycled forever, the same drops keep coming back. That means Dot has been part of countless living things across all of time, truly. Now, zoom back to you, standing on the beach, holding Dot in your hand. This tiny drop has traveled further, waited longer, and seen more than any human ever could, and it's silent. But wait, Dot's story isn't just about the ocean. Let's talk about you for a second, because you are basically made of water too. Around 60% of your body is water. That water inside you didn't appear from nowhere. It came from what you drink, and that water came from rivers, rain, and yes, from the same ancient cycle Dot travels through. So the water you drank this morning, it's not fresh off the assembly line, it's ancient, it's been recycled for billions of years. You basically drank a time traveler. The water in your glass may have been rain on a jungle 1,000,000 years ago, might have been in a storm that sank a pirate ship, or might have splashed on a dinosaur's foot. And it doesn't stop with you. When that water leaves your body, it goes right back into the cycle, back to the rivers, back to the clouds, and back to the sea, round and round. So somewhere out there right now, drops that were once inside you are traveling the world, rising into clouds, and falling as rain on a country you'll never visit. Little pieces of you out there exploring. Here's another wild thought. Because water is shared and recycled, you've probably drunk water that once passed through famous people from history. Same molecules, just moved around over the years. It connects everyone. The water in your body has been in oceans that touched every country, and it links you to every person, every animal, and every place on Earth, all through one drop. Now let's rank Dot's craziest stops, worst to best. Number 3, 1,000 years frozen in a lonely glacier, stuck and silent while the world moved on without it. Number 2, sinking into the pitch black deep ocean for centuries, crushed by pressure, surrounded by strange glowing monsters, waiting and waiting for a sunlight that felt like it might never come. And the number 1 most jaw-dropping stop of all, outer space. Because part of Earth's water may have ridden here on a comet, Dot might have literally started its journey among the stars. From a comet in deep space, to the bottom of the ocean, to a frozen mountain, to inside a dinosaur, to your very own glass of water this morning. That's Dot's resume. Beat that. And the truly mind-blowing part, every single drop in the ocean has a story just as wild. There are more drops in the sea than there are stars. We can count each one a traveler. So next time you're at the beach, look at the water differently. That's not just a wave, that's billions of tiny time travelers, each one carrying a secret history older than everything you know. And the water isn't done. Dot is still going right now, this very second, rising into a cloud somewhere, ready to fall as rain, ready to start the whole crazy adventure all over again. It never stops, it never gets tired, it never runs out. The same water, endlessly recycled, carrying the whole story of our planet inside every tiny drop, forever moving, forever remembering. So here's the real gut punch. The water you drank this morning is older than the dinosaurs, and it's been everywhere on Earth. You're basically drinking history. So where do you think your drop has been?
If you want more Wild What Ifs, hit subscribe and come check out the channel.